Okay, fine. So let's start second session of this DBMS Lab programs. So this is a very important session. Try to understand the basic concept properly. Okay. So let me share the screen. So here, if you see this diagram, you can easily understand what is meant by attribute and what is an entity. As you can see here, so we have student, one entity. Okay. So what is an entity? Anything which exists in the real world. Anything which exists in the real world is called as an entity. Okay. So entity is one which you can specify with different attributes. Okay. Anything which is having certain specifications, that is termed as entity. Okay. So here, student, if you uh, try to understand student, obviously you can say it's having certain existence, right? So student will be having name, student will be having age, class, address, date of birth. Okay. So student may have email, roll number, okay, section, okay. At the same time, so there may be a chance that a student may have first name, last name, middle name, like that. Okay. Fine. So here all these things: class, address, name, age, mobile number, date of birth. Okay. All these things are called as attributes of student. Attributes of student. Fine. Okay. Then, so there will be a uniqueness in each and every entity. Okay. So that uniqueness property is called as primary key. Okay. If you see all these attributes of student, so easily you can say that a student may have one or more email ID, right? So we can't consider email as a primary key. Primary key is a unique key by means of which you can identify, okay, different tuples in the relation. Different tuples in the relation. Okay. So what is primary key? Primary key is a unique key by means of which you can identify different tuples in the relation. So what is in the relation? So relation is nothing but what? A table. So this table is there. No, this is called as a relation. In SQL terminology, table is called as a relation. Okay. So here, what happens? So with the help of email, you can't find out students. With the help of name, you can't find out student, because with the same name, there may be a chance that two or more students may be there in the class, right? So let me take an example. If I call Ajay, there may be a chance that two students may have the same name called as Ajay. Okay, so that's why we can't consider uh, name as a primary key, date of birth as a primary key. Okay, so there may be a chance that two students may have same date of birth. Date of birth. Okay, so we can't consider this date of birth is also as a primary key. That's why if you observe here, roll number, each and every student will be having unique roll number. Each and every student will be having unique roll number. Okay, it's very it's impossible that two students will have same USN or roll number from the university. So what USN, what you are having, university seat number, so that is unique for each and every student, right? That's why we can consider roll number as a unique, okay, attribute for this entity student. Okay, so if you have a table, if you create a table called as a student, in the last session, first session, we created one table called as a student, right? When you create the table, all these you can add as an attribute. Okay, you can add the roll number as an attribute, email, date of birth, section, okay, address, class, age, all these things are like an attribute to the student table. Okay, now, so why we are having this three different sections for the name? So this I'll cover in the topic types of attributes. We are having single attribute, multi attribute, okay, and then we have single valued, multi valued attribute, okay, derived attribute, stored attribute. Like this, we are having different types of attributes, okay. Actually, so so here email is multi-valued attribute because see double oval shape symbol what we have connecting to this particular entity. Okay, Shuni. So that's why we are representing. So we are having unique representation for different types of attributes. Okay, so we are having this age dotted circle, dotted uh, notation. What we are using here is because it is derived attribute. Okay, from the date of birth you can derive age. That's why okay we can consider this as derived attribute. Okay, so if you go to this example here, it is very important to understand these fields. Very important. Okay, as I said, you people. So relation is nothing but table. In SQL terminology, table is called as relation. In SQL terminology, table is called as a relation. So when the table comes into picture, obviously table is nothing but combination of rows and columns, right? So in the SQL terminology, each and every column is called as attributes. Column is called as an attribute and also called as fields. So these are different fields. So when you encounter these words, fields, attributes, or columns, it represents the same thing. That is column itself. Okay, at the same time. So rows will be defined as tuples. It's also called as records. Okay, so so the field names are called as tuple. Okay, here the question when we start lab programs, if I say you people to enter create 5 different tuples, that's nothing but what you should enter 5 different okay rows. You should enter values for 5 different tuples or rows. Okay, conclusion is tuple, record, and rows. Okay, same name, same meaning. Okay, so field, attribute, and column it represents the same meaning. Okay, so it's very important to understand. Okay, so let's see how we should create attributes. Okay, how to assign the values, how to include the values in the table. Everything we will try to understand. Okay, let me briefly say once again about this table content here because this is very much very important. When we create a table is called as relation. SQL terminology for table is relation. So in this relation, let me take example. Okay, so this table is table name. Let me give table name. Uh, this table is of student. So table is equal to relation. Okay, so table is also called as relation. Okay, so relation name for the above diagram is student. Okay, relation name for the above diagram is student. Now this is student relation. This the thing is student relation. In this relation, we are having attributes. SID, it is an attribute. Okay, name, it's an attribute. Login ID, attribute. Age, attribute. Okay, so here we are having gross. That is also an attribute. Okay. So here SID is there. As I said, you people, each and every entity will be having uniqueness property, which will be described as primary key. So with the help of roll number, you can easily fetch the details of student. Let me repeat once again. With the help of roll number, easily you can retrieve all the details of student. So student is an entity. Okay. So let me share the screen. So as I said earlier, so we are having Oracle 9i, what we are using in the lab. So when you go to SQL Plus icon, click this icon, you'll get this pop-up window. Here you should enter username as Scott and password as Tiger. Okay. So you'll get this screen. So SQL prompt. Okay. So last class you have seen how to create the table, how to insert values, right? So let me create another table. So how to create the table? Create table student. So you better you people just start creating the tables with respect to your USN. For example, my USN is 001. So I shall create all the tables as name of the table. I'll connect my USN to the table name. Okay. So student table I'm creating here. Okay. And then 001 is my USN. Fine. So, okay. So list of attributes I'll provide to this particular table. So attribute of student, just now what we were discussing, right? So that is name. Okay. So where can 2 of 10, as I said you in the previous session. Okay. So name is attribute of student. So whenever you specify attributes, you should not forget to give it a data types. Okay. So name is one data type. Sorry, varchar 2 of 10 is one data type. Oh, typing mistake happened. It's okay. I'll rectify that. You should know how to modify the contents when it is wrong. Okay. Name, age of the type integer. Okay. And then address. Okay. As I said you in the previous session, whenever you create a table, last attribute should not have comma. Each and every attribute should be separated with the comma except the last one. And each and every command should end with semicolon. So you'll get an error message because here I have done a mistake. So let me rectify this. So name varchar total, here it is correct, of 10 should specify the size of name. How many bytes it has to take to store name. Okay, fine. So this is, so again it is showing data type. Okay, so name, so here I'll take another data type, sorry, attribute age. Okay, so the type integer, and then address, so address of the type varchar 2 of 10. Okay. So try to note down the errors. Okay. So what I've done here, last, I said you last attribute should not have comma. So I have given comma, so it is giving an error message called as invalid identifier. So what I need to do here, I need to remove this particular comma from last attribute. Try to understand carefully. Okay. Then what I need to do now, I need to remove this comma from the attribute. Fine. So end this with the semicolon. So it is shown, it is showing that table created. Okay. So should be very careful while creating the tables, because once it is created successfully, Afterwards, inserting the values and fetching the result from the table will be very easy. Okay. So let me show you where I have done the mistake while creating the table. Okay. So here I created the table, but the thing is, at the end specified what a semicolon, sorry, comma. Okay, as I said to people, whenever you create a table, each and every attribute should be separated with the comma, but except the last one. See here, in the last attribute address, I'm not giving any comma here. Okay, so first attribute, comma, second attribute, comma is there, third attribute, no comma at all. Okay, fine. I want to see my table description. So I have a describe command. So then give it a table name. Describe table. Which table? So we are having a table called as student 001. Okay. And this with semicolon, you'll get these attributes. Okay. So name, age, and address. All these things are attribute with its specified. Okay. Or data types. Varchar is the data type for name. Number is data type for age. Varchar 2 often is data type for address. So we're having three different attributes here for the table student. Okay. Now how to enter the values inside the table student 001? So we should follow one statement: insert into student. Well, student 001, right? Don't give student because we have created a table called as student 001. No. Okay. Values. And then you provide value to the attributes. Okay. So name, since it is of the data type varchar, you need to specify within the single quote. Okay. Name is, let me take it as Muhammad. Okay. And for integer type of attribute, you don't hesitate to specify within the single quote. So you can specify okay, fine. Then you need to specify value for address, right? Bangalore. Okay. What is showing? One row created. At the same time, you give some other okay names, and then specify its age. Then third value specify as Elhanka. Okay, in the single quote. Okay, another row created. So let's add another tuple to the table. Okay, so separate this. Okay, 33. Then specify place. Okay. Single quote. So how many rows created? I created 3 different rows with this data. Correct? Fine. I want to see by values what I inserted into the table. So we are having a command called as, we are having a statement called as select statement. Okay. Select star from table name. So here table name is student 001. So these are the values what I entered to the table student 001. Okay. So last class also we have seen the things how to insert the values, right? Let me say you another okay syntax to update the value. Okay. So let me update this particular content. Okay. And the name is Muhammad. No. Let me update it to Zia. Okay. So we should follow a syntax: update table name table name is 001. Update set new name. Okay, set name is equal to Zia, where age is equal to 35. Okay, as I said earlier, each and every command should end with semicolon. Okay, so what is showing now? One row updated. Okay, so if you see the same syntax again, okay, so instead of Muhammad, you can see Sia. So earlier it was Muhammad, now it is showing Zia because I updated the value with the help of this syntax. Okay, so this is update statement. Update, set, and where. These three conditions you should use. Update this particular table name where you want to do the modifications, updation. Okay, and set the new value where you should give the reference of other fields. Okay, so wherever I have 35 value, there I want updation of this name from Muhammad to Zia. That is the meaning of this statement. Okay, so there you got update. Okay, at the same time, if you want to rename the table, last session also I said you people. Okay, so renaming, let me say once again. So rename, so old table name you should use if you want to rename this table, current table name to a new table name. Okay, let me change it to 002. So it will show you statement called as table renamed. Okay, now again, if you want to see the content of your table, you need to specify student number 002. Okay, now let me show you another syntax. Okay, to just delete this entire row. Okay, so you should follow the statement. Delete name so delete from table name where name is equal to Ajay. Okay, it is showing one row deleted. Okay, when you see the content of your table, that time you can see only 2 rows. What about the row of Ajay? It got deleted from this syntax. Delete from and where. Okay, these three conditions are important. Delete command from the table name where you want to delete the content, and you should specify attribute name where you want to delete entire details of that particular row. Okay, so this is with respect to delete statement, update and delete. What about the drop? See, there is a huge difference between delete and drop. With the delete command, you can delete only a row. With the delete command, you can delete only a single row. Okay, when you make use of drop command, that time entire thing will be dropped. In the sense, if you want to drop entire table student 002, that time you should make use of drop command. Okay, there is a difference between drop and delete. Delete is only for deleting a row. Drop is to drop entire table. Okay. So before this, if you want to clear screen, you should make use of this statement cl space scr to clear the screen. Okay. Now, so as I said, you to get the content of your table, should make use of statement. Let's start from student 002, right? On this table we have, I don't want this table, I want this table to be dropped from the system. So I should make use of command drop table name. Table name is student 002. Okay. So it will show you statement table drop. Again, if you see the content of the table, you can't see those content. Okay, it will show you table or view does not exist. Okay, hope you understand this topic. Okay, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. So if you want to come out from the window, should type exit. Okay. Yes. Thank you.